Hi folks, Joe Block Comics here, having a look at an old UK Marvel Comics group reprint comic. This is from September, as you can see, 1973. This is issue 2 of the weekly Avengers comic that was reprinting old Silver Age Stan and Jack Avengers books. You can see the cover here is reproduced, and it's the Invasion of the Lava Men. There's a roster of the characters. But also, if you notice down here, you've got a Doctor Strange blurb as well. So these are these old 1970s black and white reprints. You'll see here in the UK they were advertising Wall's ice cream on the inside page, and of course the art's in black and white. Now this is a really beat up copy. I got these in a job lot. Somebody's coloured Iron Man in blue there. And you can see see the letter tone in all the work, and then here's the credits here. There we go. Paul Ryman, I'm not familiar with. Sam Rosen. So I quite like these old UK reprints. I quite like seeing the classic art in its sort of black and white form. It's really weird to see because, you know, if you've been reading the American comics and they're all in colour, and then you see them in black and white, it just feels quite strange, yeah, especially probably for people overseas who have never really encountered these books in black and white before. It's quite weird to see it actually, but they do have a certain charm, and it does sort of take me back to a childhood where you would just buy these every week in your local newsagents. They were magazine size, so they're not the same size as the US comics, and they weren't on spinner racks or anything. You would just pick these up with your Beano and your Dandy and your Topper and all that kind of stuff. Looking back on them now, they do have a certain nostalgia to them. And even though these are from the 70s, so technically kind of Bronze Age, you can probably get some of these issues, apart from the first issues, which seem to still retain an awful lot of the pricing. It's quite expensive to buy the first issues of these books. Once you get down the line a little more, a little further, they become really, really cheap. If you're lucky, you can grab them for like 50 pence and £1 and stuff, yeah. But the first issues, like Mighty World of Marvel and the Spider-Man Weekly, they're a lot more expensive. You can see that this copy has been read and reread and reread, and they would also give away in the UK. They would put little free toys and gifts and things like boomerangs and transfers and stuff. And when you find those books still with the free gifts, they're much more expensive to get. However, these things here are just, you can pick them up quite cheap. If you're lucky, you find a batch of them and you can just get a whole lot of them together. Here we have Stanley and Steve Ditko introducing Doctor Strange. And this is the backup story. So often you would get 2 or 3 different strips in the one comic in these UK books. I love Ditko's art in black and white. I feel it really works for him. And then here's a little advert for Mighty World of Marvel and Spider-Man Comics Weekly that were on sale, as well as some other stuff that was going on in the UK in 1973, including the Adventures of the Cresta Bear, which I'm pretty sure was a kind of lemonade type drink. And in the advert he would say, "That Cresta, it's frothy, man." For those of a certain age, you might remember that. Anyway, there you go. Avengers number 2 from the UK black and white reprint. Glorious cover. Great to see these. Pick them up if you see them. Somebody will always want to read them. I hope you enjoyed looking at that. And if you did, why don't you subscribe to the channel? And I'll see you on the next one.